Hey everybody, how is it going? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to go over the overall market because that is what is on everybody's mind with the market rolling over some more today. Everybody wants to know when the market could be bottoming. Are we possibly going into a recession, etc., etc.? I don't know if I can answer all those, but I can definitely tell you what I am seeing with the overall market and what I think odds favor could be happening next. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor. All this is just my opinion, so please make all of your own trading decisions. Now, if you'd like to support the channel, all you got to do is like the smash button down there. I would really appreciate that. And also, I do have a Patreon group. It is only $9.99 a month. The link is down there in the description. I'm on the Discord every single day, and every day before the market opens, I try to put out a pre-market video on the Patreon page, just showing you the stocks that are on my watch list and if I see anything significant in the market. But let's get into the overall market. We're going to start here with the QQQs, which is the NASDAQ, and that's what everybody seems to watch the most. That's why I like to start out with the Qs. But we can see we have gap down again, and we're starting to get a ton of climax volume coming in right here. So I think this is a very good sign for a possible bottom coming in. Now, the market was a little bit stronger before I started making this video. It looks like it's pulling back a little bit. If the QQQ can end towards the upper range of the day, I think it's going to be a pretty bullish looking candle. And if that happens, I'm probably going to buy some call options to the upside, maybe buy I don't know, maybe the 355 call, maybe the 350 call even, that are ending probably on Friday. So I want to give it a little bit of time, but I think odds favor if we close near the high of the day that we're probably going to get a multi-day bounce, and that's what I want to take advantage of. And if I bring up one of these other indicators that I have down here, we can see that the stochastic, let me bring it up here just a little bit more. We can see the stochastic is all the way down here in oversold territory. Now this is on the daily chart. In one of my previous videos, I was talking about how oversold the NASDAQ is on the weekly chart, but right here on the daily chart, you can see it's in oversold territory, and it's starting to hook up a little bit. So if we look at this point right here, when it was an oversold territory and made that little hook up, we had a multi-day run. Right here, the same exact thing, multi-day run. Right back here, same thing, a multi-day run, one pullback, but then, you know, the momentum jumped right back in the market. We had a nice little follow-through day right here, and then the market was in another uptrend. So that's what I'm looking to take advantage of here. These trades are very difficult because, you know, there's a lot of fear in the market right now, and a lot of people don't want to step in front of it. But chances are, if you take more of these trades than you don't, you're probably going to be rewarded in the next couple of days. And those are the kind of trades that I want to make. Not every single one of them is going to work out, but this is definitely one that I want to take advantage of when I see it. And let me see if I can bring this up again. If we look at the ultimate oscillator on my TC2000 software, I think most softwares and most trading platforms have this as well. You can see how oversold the QQQ is on the ultimate oscillator. We are down below the oversold territory, and if I go all the way back, let me just put this into context a little bit. Last time it was this low, goes all the way back to the COVID collapse, or at least the beginning part of it. So we had this little bounce right here after we went below that oversold line, and we had a nice multi-day bounce before we had a big rollover. You can see the indicator, or the oscillator, continued to move up after that, and this is the kind of price action that I'm kind of expecting. I'm not expecting to have this huge collapse here, at least I hope that doesn't happen, but I am expecting a little bit of a rollover if you know, we do get this multi-day bounce. So I'm going to try to catch this bounce to the upside. Let me go back to the present day here. I'm going to try to catch a multi-day bounce to the upside. So I'm thinking it's going to look something like this. And then we're probably going to get a little bit more of a rollover. So I'm going to try to catch this bounce and then maybe buy an inverted ETF to try to catch this little bit of a rollover. Now, it all depends on how this price action looks up here if we make it up there. But if that's what happens, that's what I'm expecting to happen. And that's the way I am going to play it. Let's get that stuff out of here real quick, and let's take a look at some of the other indices. Let's jump over to the diamonds. See the diamonds doing the same exact thing. You can see ultimate oscillator is also below that deep oversold territory. Last time it did that was in the end of November, and you can see we had a nice bounce right there. But let me get that out of here, and let's actually just go right back to the volume. just so you can see how much selling volume is coming into the market. I mean, if this isn't climax selling, I don't know what is. And you almost always get a nice little bounce from price action like that. Now, the only caveat here is if the Dow and all the other indices end up selling off into the close, that kind of, negates the bullish hammer theory that I am looking at here. We do have that climax selling, and of course, we could get a bounce without one of those long tail candles, but I would prefer to see one of those. It would just make me feel a little bit better, because usually when you get one of those, you get these long tails like right here, you end up getting a nice bounce. But let's take a look at the spider, which is the S&P 500. You can see climax selling as well. So, I mean, definitely odds are favoring. We're probably going to get a bounce from here. And hopefully, when I end the video, if we do, get price action that ends near the high of the day, I can get positioned for this potential bounce we're going to have. Now, one that I was looking at the most was the IWM, and the IWM had a nice bullish candle. It still has it right now, but this one is definitely looking the most bullish out of all the ones that I look at. So the IWM and is probably the most oversold out of all of the indices. Maybe the NASDAQ is right there with it. So the fact that the IWM is having a nice bounce is very encouraging. So I might end up just buying IWM call options for the rest of the week as well. So I really like the IWM. I really like the way the Q is looking, and I actually like the way the other two are looking as well as far as a bounce when you consider that climax selling and this potential bullish hammer that these things are going to print. All right, so let's get into the trades that I made today now. And the first one I want to start off with is the only round trip trade that I made, the only day trade that I made, and that was in EXTN. And spoiler alert, this one did not work out, but if you have been watching this channel, I absolutely love this pattern, and it works way more than it doesn't. So every time I see this pattern, I am going to take it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'll wait for it the next day. But, today I probably should not have taken a day trade. I considered not taking one just because, there was so much going on with the market. The market was gapping down. I had price alerts going off like crazy on this software that I use, on the TC2000 software, when a stock crosses through a price. So say the stock is up here at $25 and I want to be alerted when it crosses down through 20 or whatever. Once it crosses through it, it makes a car horn sound, and I had those things going off, and they're super loud too. And I had them going off like crazy, so it was kind of distracting. But anyway, let's get into this trade. I made this one on the 3-minute chart, so let's go to the 3-minute chart. If you're not familiar with this trade that I make, what I like to do is start off with the 1-minute chart on a stock that is gapping up. So I want to follow it down and see if it finds some support at this white line, this 8-period exponential moving average. If it crashes through this moving average on the 1-minute chart, then I flip over to the 2-minute chart. Want to see if it starts finding support. It was finding a little bit of support, but it broke down through it, so I flipped over to the 3-minute chart. Got over the 3-minute chart, you can see that it was holding that 8-period exponential moving average. I saw that we had a nice little ceiling forming right here. Let me see if I can get that, put that at the right spot. And so I set my alert, or I should say my buy stop, to buy the stock once it broke above this level. Executed it right there at $4.60, and it immediately rolled over, so this one did not work. It stopped me out at $4.44 for a loss of 3.5%. So not that big of a loss, but unfortunately this one didn't work out. Now I'm usually trying to catch a little bit of a move up, hopefully break to a new high, and that's what I'm trying to get out just as it's breaking through to the new high, because so many of these I see, once they break to a new high, they roll right back over. I mean, sometimes they keep going, but mostly they'll break to a new high, get just a little bit above it, and then sellers start coming in for whatever reasons. That's the kind of move that I'm trying to capture. But unfortunately on EXTN, it did not work out today. So we'll just have to look tomorrow, see if I can find some tomorrow. But I did make some other trades today. I added to my long-term position in Palantir. Palantir was rolling over, was going straight down, so I wanted to make sure that I bought some of it. I put in an order to buy some at $12.12, and went just a little bit below that, but now it's making a nice bullish hammer. So hopefully this is the bottom. This is indicative of what a bottom looks like right before it bounces. So Hopefully we do get a bounce from here. Hopefully it is a major bottom. It just keeps going up like this, but we'll have to wait to see for that. Another one that I added to, another long-term position I added to was Curiosity Stream. This one is really starting to go into the toilet, but I'm bullish on this one for the long term. Now I'm kind of like nibbling on these stocks. I'm not making huge buys. I'm kind of waiting for like a follow through in the market before I start adding to these if they're still down here at these nice desirable prices. But I added some shares at $3.78 on Curiosity Stream. You can see it's just a little bit above it right now. But man, looking at this pattern, I would guess this downtrend might not be over. But I plan on keeping Curiosity Stream for probably at least 5 to 10 years unless something really drastically changes. If they fail to hit some of these, growth expectations, then obviously I'd have to make a decision there. But still bullish on Curiosity Stream for the long term, so I was happy to add some shares at $3.78, even though that one is getting pretty low. And last one I added to was the Tattooed Chefferoni. This one is a small position in my portfolio, but after I saw it, rolling over like this, I had to add some. So I added some at $11.11, and it made it all the way down to a low of $10.89, but printing a pretty nice reversal candle right now. We'll have to see if this ends up being the short-term low or not. I mean, this is indicative of what a short-term low looks like, so I probably should have bought even heavier, but those were the trades that I bought or that I made today. Well, that's all I have for this one, everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them for me down there in the comment section. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.